Hello again, and welcome back to the Dev Plays The Crucible of Avarice, using the Animite Tales tabletop RPG system. Last session, the rest of the party ended up fighting against the tyrannical Sezu. Eventually, after defeating him in Emjanalinia and killing him, they took his equipment and then spoke to Felix, who had asked them to defeat him. Felix then further increased his gratitude to the party as the party settled off to another destination. During this time, however, they all decided that they needed to find a more permanent solution, two of which, Stan and his clone, said that they should go back to the laboratory of Smithy, which was recently damaged but was being supposedly fixed by one of Stan's other clones. Stan propagated this by stating that by now it should be done, as they left this clone almost 10, if not more, hours ago, and there are only 6 hours left in the tournament's time limit before Anarche potentially wins. After settling that argument, they all went off to the underground facility and fixed the door thanks to the sacrifice of one of the clones that Stan has. Now, only with one clone, Stan and the others got into the vault and locked it up nice and tightly. However, a few individuals tried to coax the party out, but to no avail. After these 6 hours were up, the doors blasted down. With mere moments to go, 3 figures walked in. Fergus, the dealmaker, alongside his puppet, the Seraphim of all time, and beside him, an individual who was definitely undead, however wearing damaged clothing that looked a lot like Fergus's clothing. After Fergus stated that it was nice to see them and it was time for him to have his true reconciliation, it turned out that he had noticed that Anarche wasn't there in almost a few seconds, halfway through his speech. The rest of the party looked to the location of which Anarche was, and he was no longer remaining. None of them knew where he was not answering after they called to him, and that is where we now come back. As Anarche, you are in a blackened room, or at the very least, you're standing in the middle of a place where it is just pitch black. You cannot see anything, but you hear a voice. 3 months ago, there was a decision made by an incredibly wealthy man. Now, this decision was that a tournament would be made for all sorts of people from around the world, and they would compete in all sorts of different manners. But the person who created this had no intention of it being a normal sport. No. But instead, it would open up the floodgates to truly show the avaricious nature of fighters, combatants, soldiers and warriors alike, the martial arts and the martial combats of all sorts of different people, powers and technology, weaponry and physical combat all alike, in one location, no, throughout the entire globe. My dream has now been truly recognized. As lights immediately beam down upon you, Anarche. Large golden orbs with almost pink glowing circuitry around them float on down, shining these lights upon you, opening up to the room. And in front of you is standing Stilton Maximilian. Perfectly whited suit, swept back hair, and a sort of handlebar mustache. This man, he looks perfectly kept and combed and perfectly kept and clean. However, you are covered in soot, dirt, sand, and blood. Your eyes have begun to sag due to tiredness. But despite this, as he stands in front of you, merely 4 meters away, he then says, "Congratulations, Mr. Fury Fist, or do you prefer Heretic? I know there are many other names that you've been given, but I think I shall call you Champion."
I mean, my normal name would do, but yeah, sure, that'll work.
Oh, no. A normal name is not befitting of a man who has gone through the Crucible of Avarice and come out victorious.
Right.
You're probably wondering why and how you got here.
Well, I mean, you teleported me here. That's a pretty simple answer.
He then sort of just you see his like proud shoulders sort of slump down a little as his demeanor doesn't necessarily change, but at the very least, it seems as though you immediately kicking his answer away with what seems to be the correct answer. He's almost like a little upset that he didn't get to say it as he goes, "Well, I mean, yes, I teleported you here myself, but I bet you're guessing how I did it."
Sure, yes. Very curious.
Well, for you'll see, as he then just goes back into his uprighted shoulders, as you can tell that this guy is probably a bit too much of a showman. I was able to design the perfect pieces of technology throughout the last 2 decades. This technology would be eventually the very thing that created the subnet. Pieces of technology that could be perfectly crafted and programmed by yours truly, using all sorts of different metals and materials as well as animite. It was perfect. But once I'd perfected almost all of my pieces of technology, there was only one thing left. That band on your arm right there, along with all of the other bands of those who wear them, the contestants. That is my perfect masterpiece.
Cool.
Well, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more interesting, but what could I really assume from a man who isn't from this world? So
no, it's it's more my lack of sleep here. No, it's not you.
Oh my goodness. I'm ever so sorry. I have been a terrible host. As he snaps his fingers, and your entire body suddenly rushes with this strange energy as this aura coats your body. You are no longer sleep depraved, and your body is fully revitalized. Any damage that you have taken that has not been healed is fully healed. Any wounds or ailments are all gone.
Oh, well, that's a lot better.
Apologize for not doing that sooner.
No, it's all good.
Now that you are fully well rested, I should probably get to it. You have, of course, won the tournament, the Crucible of Avarice, but there are now only a few more questions that I must ask you before all things come to a close. Or at least this meeting does. The first one I should ask you is, do you have any questions of your own that you may feel that might crop up throughout this interview, if you will?
I didn't realize this was an interview. I came badly dressed for this. I can't say I have any off the top of my head at this moment. However, if I come up with any, I'll ask you if that's all right.
Very well. Now, my next question. You know of the prizes of this tournament?
Yes. Well, I know of the one that matters anyway.
Well, then I guess I should obviously ask you for the sake of formality, of course. Which would you prefer? The power of the stone that I have been promising, or the money? Now, I will say that these two things are particularly difficult for most people to understand. The money that I would be giving you is not only the money that you have acquired, but also any extra additional money that you would or should have acquired. On top of that, any and every currency within the world, you will also get an identical amount of that money. For instance, if you were to get 1 billion, what would be the equivalent of stars, you would then also get 1 billion gold pieces that would be useful in another country, as well as getting another additional 1 billion of another particular currency that's used in Eden. So of course that is that. And the last one is the Miracle Stone, supposedly housing the greatest power in all of the world, and also, might I offer, it's also known as the Wishing Stone. So which will you choose?
I mean, I really should have set up my own currency on my own island. That would have been smart, but, I'll just take the stone.
Very well. The stone, as he sort of opens up his hand and procures it in just a very weird position, as then a golden glow begins to appear in just at the ends of the tips of his finger, as a tiny golden stone begins floating just away from the tips of his fingers, away from the palm of his hand. It's glorious, isn't it? This is one of the very things that I needed to have happen. It is glorious.
Joe, for my aura sense, is this like an overload, considering this is, I guess, an accumulation of the almost seemingly every ability I've possibly come across and more?
I would like you to roll me a Constitution check.
Oh boy. It was nice knowing you all. I'm just gonna die.
No, it's not that bad. Even a natural 1 isn't going to kill you here. It's more of just...
Well, thank goodness, because I got a 2.
2 berries.
As this grand light, as your energy sense sort of like is hit with this wave, it's almost like being inside of a sun. Like your brain is heating up, your eyes are starting to ache, and as you sort of do that, you notice that all of this power is just really overwhelming you as you're starting to like clasp your head with your hand. As he then just looks at your very visual, your very, how do I put it this way? Your very visual sort of like anguish, as he then just goes, perhaps I should give it to you in a moment. As the light disappears when you look back up, the Miracle Stone's gone.
Yes, thank you for that. Didn't realize it was going to be that bad.
Now, I assure you, once you have it actually in your possession, that should not happen. Considering the way that the Miracle Stone works, there are many different mechanics, some of which that you should probably be aware of before you do actually come in contact with it. I still have 2 questions remaining, but are there any from you before we get going?
So, sorry. At Miracle Stone, is that the one that Galan created all those years ago, or does this happen to be another one?
It's the one and only Miracle Stone. Not many others have ever been able to figure out how it was made, but I was able to get my hands on it.
Oh. Well, that would make sense.
Anything else?
I'm trying to think. Is there any questions that I get? I don't know, because this is more me Met speaking now. I don't think there's any questions that I know any of my teammates have either that I could ask this guy.
I don't.
Because it's never really been a conversation.
No, none of your party members have ever once spoken to you about the concerns or the questions of, around, for, or about this man.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing about you in your recap. Calling your character Felix twice. It wasn't Felix. You doubled down on it.
It's all Felix. We're all Felix now. The next thing that happens is he then says, "Well, in that case, I have another question for you. Then, this is one of the last questions that you'll be given before this. Obviously, after all of these things, I can't exactly just have it that this is truly everything. So I'll even give you one additional prize, free of charge. And this is where it comes to the end. My second to last question. Now that we know exactly who you are, where you're from, and what you do, as well as what you've done, this game is supposed to come to an end. But I ask you, if you had the option of having it that instead of everyone losing their places, their points, and everything else, what if instead the tournament continued, but once that they got to the 1 billion points, it then became the same thing as the last prize? They could also have it that once they got to the 1 billion points, instead of surviving for 24 hours, instantaneously they are then able to make an additional rule to the game. Or, of course, instead, you could just have it that at the end of these conversations that we have here, the entire band and everything else to do with it are completely erased. All of the technology will be confiscated, and they will no longer be bothered by the Crucible of Avarice. All money that anyone has ever worked for is gone.
I assume this is being broadcast, so I just imagine everyone who is not in our party just running around trying to spend all the money they can.
I will say this: you guys aren't seeing this because that you are in your situation. But I will say, you have noticed that there are a few of those drones in Arcade that are the ones that also were watching outside of the battlefield on Jotun Jail. So it's very obvious that this is being broadcasted.
Yeah. Actually, before I answer that, just a quick question. How much of this planet's population has been killed because of this tournament? Just as a standing.
That's actually a question I don't think anyone has actually bothered to ask me. Although not many people have actually seen me over the last 4 months. But I can give you an answer. Around about 15%, give or take maybe a couple more percentage points, have perished due to the effects of this tournament.
Yeah, that's surprisingly low.
Did you have any idea how many people there were on this planet?
I mean, no.
So perhaps your intended sentence is probably not as well fitting as you think. Not that I'm one to judge. I am the one who put this entire thing together, and therefore all of the blood is technically not only on just those who did its hands. Instead, it's more like I'm killing everyone through proxy.
You know, I'm gonna try and roll an intelligence to see from Anarche's point of view how much worse could things get if people are allowed to add rules to it.
Okay.
To this game. There we go. I got another 2. Let's go.
I mean, here's the way that your brain is working. On the bright side, you and anyone else always could come back here, but also money. And on the other hand is the fact that although, yes, this tournament has been very dangerous to this planet, some people have earned livings. Others have been able to find criminals. You've even noticed that thanks to the bans, certain pieces of technology have been possible to access in locations where technology is impossible to access. If all of that was confiscated and taken away, all of this technology would be lost to those civilizations. So as bad as it is, it could be a good thing.
You know what? Sure, let's keep things going.
Very well. In that case, I also have one other thing. Your band will now be classified as a golden band, but I'm afraid since you have asked for the Miracle Stone, your band will now go back to a singular point.
I mean, I couldn't spend the money anyway, so it's fine.
No, that is true. However, from now on, any golden band havers can now make either an additional rule, or can use their points however they see fit. As for that, let's get down to the real business. As we now come back to the rest of the party. Let's
get down to business.
Fergus has stood, he's standing in front of all of you guys again. On his left side, he has the Seraphim of All Time, and on his right side, the Undead Corpse, with very badly damaged, copied versions of Fergus's clothing. As they're all standing in front of you guys, about 5 meters away, it's sort of been a thing of like, where the hell did Anarche go? Two of which the end of this conversation pretty much started with Ferb screaming out the words boss, as we now come back to that scene. Well,
where'd he go?
Damn. I guess those guys did take a little bit more time for me to kill than I thought. Damn. So he's already won. Well, I could at least give him a nice good present when he gets back here, eh?
Perhaps.
So, let's have a little chat, shall we? First things first. The amount of stuff that you've taken from me and the amount of stuff that I've taken from you isn't exactly great, but the amount of options that I've given you, and now, it's now all come to a close. I've got everything I need and everything I want, except from you, dead. But I'm sure I'll be getting that soon as well.
Good for you, Fergus. Good for you.
It is good for me. Very good, in fact, because I won't have to deal with any of the rest of you getting in my way for my plans. But don't get me wrong, I'm sure that Anarche will definitely use that stone for a good cause. Definitely. So, this right here, as he points over to the undead, is what I've been waiting for a long time. Finally, the first supervillain, Lord, is in my possession. I think it's about time that we start showing you exactly why I've been wanting these powers for a while. So let's begin. I'd like all of you to roll me move speed.
Alright. I can't help but notice that all the rolls today so far have been 2s.
Okay, that was a 3.
There's a freeze.
Went one up.
Hey. Nice. Okay, well, Felix, you'll be going first.
Okay, I don't believe I have transformed yet, so I will use my...
not yet, no.
I will go ahead and do that, and then do I have to roll willpower? Does that matter?
Well, it's not, no, you don't roll willpower. You just roll SP, and then whatever that number is the willpower aspect.
You know what I mean. I'm like, does that matter for this fight?
I mean, you can do it anyway, whether or not it is or isn't. You might as well.
There you go. It's a nat 20 for a 30.
Yeah.
Whether that has any effect.
Oh Lord, he coming.
20 is good either
so
or.
I assume I should just go straight for Lord then.
It's up to you.
I mean, Fergus wants a fight. Why not give Fergus the fight? So I'll just, do my typical run-in Sonic Strike combo.
Okay.
To start us off, and then 20 to hit.
Nice.
It's not that nice. It's a 4 on the die, Joe.
Nice. You know what? Yeah, close enough. As as you go to like throw this attack at him, like the powerful bounding strike does actually strike against his face. As it does, roll damage.
Okay. I don't believe I have anything in the gauntlets at the moment. So I'm just going to do the regular 85.
Nice.
Now, it was a combo, but is anything stopped there? Like,
nothing is stopped there per se. However, as you've struck him, you do notice a rebound as you take the 85 points of damage.
Does it appear that he took any of that, or...?
It doesn't even look like his body flinched when you struck him. As you take that wholehearted 85, roll me Fortitude.
Fortitude. Maybe that's just a plus 10.
Yeah.
27.
Okay. You don't take any injuries, but your hand does take that 85 damage as you are sort of blasted back. As you notice that the entire striking force of that attack didn't allow for your willpower ability to negate it.
Okay.
As that happens, it hasn't stopped your pacing. Whatever's happened hasn't been enough to stop your pacing, so you are still allowed to roll for another attack. Since obviously the last one was combo.
Is Fergus close enough, or the other person?
I mean, Fergus is definitely close enough. Again, they were only originally 5 meters away, so like technically
okay.
he's
Then I will go for a combo pure technique at Fergus then. 35 to hit, much better than the...
Nice.
And Dodie will see it coming.
I also gotta add...
Try that one, and... try that one. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so as you do so, you do indeed hit Fergus. Roll damage.
Okay. And then I also gotta add... I'm realizing the last one, I should have actually taken more damage on that last one because I didn't have the plus 25, so...
That's okay. I can add a 25 to the damage that you took.
Yeah. So I gotta add, once again, the plus 25, and then the plus 37 from the gauntlet because of the last attack. So 146.
Nice. Yeah, as you hit him, you do indeed sort of strike him in the... He basically... I'm assuming that you do strike him in the face.
Yeah, why not?
As you do so... Just having a look at this now.
I will say, if I take that 146 damage, I will be down.
No. This is a good clean hit. You feel like you're actually hitting flesh and bone this time. As you do so, you will actually deal that damage, but On top of that, you also notice that his skull also cracks and splats behind the pressure, as sort of like his body sort of rotates a bit as well, as he flies backwards, and it just barely stops before he slams into a wall behind him. You still have one additional action left.
Correct. So Fergus is has been splatted up against the wall.
Yeah.
Is the other guy near me? Like there was 3 individuals?
Yes, yeah, the Seraphim is also very close. Technically, I just want to point out all of them are within your move speed anyway, so you can hit any of them if you wish.
I'm debating if I either want to grapple Lord or if I want to go after the Seraphim with my final attack.
It's up to you.
Random roll it.
Random roll. Yeah, I'll do a D2. 1, I just go back to punching, I go and punch Seraphim. 2, I grapple Lord. I guess I'm gonna try and punch the Seraphim.
Okay.
Do what you do best.
33 to hit.
Nice. Just having a look at this. Is that gonna work? Okay. Yeah, so you do actually land a hit, roll damage.
Okay. And then plus 38 from that. Okay, 124.
Nice. You hit into the armor and then launch this dude as he slams against the wall. You notice that the armor does in fact break and blood gushes out from it as like chunks of the helmet are just falling to the ground. As the two of them that you actually did land 2 solid hits on are now displaced and out of the way. As it is now to their turn, as the Seraphim sort of staggers for a second and then sort of just snaps his fingers as what proceeds to happen is Fergus sort of just laughs as like oh, that was a close one. As when you look at him, he has no damage on him. A second snap of the fingers, and the Seraphim also, both armor and body, are undamaged and untainted by blood, as it seems as though both of the attacks that you've just done have been negated off of them.
Okay.
As that happens, the corpse then begins to go towards you, Felix, for an attack.
Is it the Lord's corpse or which corpse?
Yeah, it's Lord's, yeah.
Okay. I know that reactive strike's just gonna punch me back in the gut, so I should probably go for either evasion or I should try and grapple.
Okay. Do you have a reactive grapple?
I don't think I do.
Then you won't be able to reactively grapple.
So yeah.
You can block, reactive strike, or evade using evasion, acrobatics, or finesse.
I guess I'll try and finesse.
Okay.
Is it okay if I do warning shot?
You can attempt to do so, yeah.
29.
Okay.
20. A warning shot.
Nice. So how does warning shot work again?
1 bullet. It stops the target. If it's 5 or above, I shoot the person and still prevent them.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna need you to do something for me then. Roll your damage from that shot.
Alright.
I swear if it bounces off and hits Felix.
That's the problem. I just wanted a high roll.
On the bright side, since it's reactive, natural 20s don't count as double damage attacks.
Fair. Let me just... that in. And yeah.
as you fire the shot at him, he still doesn't seem to stop moving towards Felix. However, then when the shot is about to go, it seems as though it's about to hit him in the face, and he sort of just like his head goes back immediately as the bullet just goes right into his skull. However, the corpse then sort of turns around to reveal a hole in the side of his head where the bullet went. It then closes up, as then suddenly another hole appears on his body, and the bullet flies out of it and hits you, dealing 67 points of damage. That breaks your vitality, Ferb.
It does.
Roll me Constitution, Fortitude.
Do I need to worry about the? Do I need to worry about my finesse roll or?
No, it doesn't matter. He got stopped.
You're welcome.
Okay.
But yeah, you are. Could you roll me 2d12s, please, Ferb?
Mm-hmm. Separate or all at once?
So just 2d12s together. As you have taken an additional 18 points of damage, as you are currently bleeding from the shot that tore through you, went through and through. This, by the way, does not have a time limit. You will continuously keep on bleeding.
Best to avoid Lord. Just go after the others.
Sorry.
I'm so
Thank
glad. You agree. Going after Lord is a complete waste of time.
For the moment, yes.
As it is now, I believe... Oh yeah, no, I forgot Fergus also still has one thing left. As he sort of gloats a bit, he then sort of begins... He then places his hands together as he says the words like true potential, as a sort of weird whirring of like energy fluctuates outwards from him towards everyone else, as he then seems to then... The best way to put it is he creates this weird sort of distortion in sort of space for a second, as when he moves his hand, it's almost like as if you see it like his entire hand has a tracer, and when he then points forwards, a compressed, condensed sort of sphere begins to appear at the tip of his finger. Whilst he's doing this, you can attempt to react against this if you are within that range. Your reactions will have to be obviously appropriate to the fact that this guy is currently 8 meters away from Stan and Ferb, and Felix, he is about 3 meters away from you.
Okay, so would I be close enough to do like a reactive strike, or is that too far?
I will allow it because it's only just 1 meter out of the range.
Okay.
However, I'm going to say that yours will
Disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay. So let's do
I'm not to learn my lesson. I'm shooting him again.
All right, that's a 31 to hit then.
Okay.
I got 22.
Okay. And Stan, what about you?
Can I react? Or is it the range?
It's within range, so you can have a ranged reaction.
It's like a spatial thing, right?
You're not too sure. It's just basically just when he created this weird thing, it sort of generated sort of like a weird... It's kind of like either like a spatial distortion or just very infrequent fluctuations of like heat waves. A better way to point it out is that it looks like it's distorting space, but it could also just be distorting the light and air around him.
Okay. I guess I will. Do I want to do? Because Felix is about to like punch him or something.
I mean, you
right?
can leave it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and just for the sake of it, I'll try and like cancel it, I guess, with my D4.
All I can imagine is Aldous is just sitting in like a lawn chair with like a nice like pop beverage, just sipping it as he watches this battle unfold.
Okay. Yeah, so Felix, you'll get the reaction on this one. Ferb, you will as well, and Stan, so will you.
Okay. 115
Did he get
damage.
a 1?
No, I got a 16, which is below all three of you.
That's cool.
Spoiler alert, with advantage.
I had disadvantage, and my lowest was a 31. So
Oh, wonderful. Anyway, take this damage. Oh.
Or not.
it's decided.
This damage.
Okay,
Oh,
so
nat 60.
I will delete the other one.
cheers.
Oh.
What you got playing on in the background? The news?
It's not me.
The weather for today.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so...
like, it seems like ice cream weather.
Okay, so... Yep. So that's 115. And then obviously then the 60, okay. Yep, okay, awesome. As you go to strike him, you immediately stop this weird glowing and fluctuation. As you do so, you do break like a part of like his shoulder, and then you also shoot him, which like burrows a hole into his other shoulder. As it is now, I have to have a look at this. It's now Stan's turn.
Oh, okay. The seraphim. So I'm trying to think, if I shoot someone, I'm gonna end up hitting like Felix.
So the Seraphim is are probably the most out of the way of everyone else.
It's kind of pointless to go for Lord at the moment because I don't think we can really hit him. So
Wait, actually, I'm going to. I have one of those. Yeah, I have a sonic screwdriver on me.
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna scan the Seraphim dude.
Okay.
I can then find out he's like everything.
you scanning Seraphim or are you
Personal.
scanning Lord?
So you're scanning Seraphim. Do you need to roll for that?
Yeah, let me check.
I mean, either way, that will take up an action regardless. But
I think no, it just takes up an action.
I think it would be more useful to scan Lord, but yeah, go on.
okay, so you don't need to roll to scan him. So I assume anyway.
No, I can just see his like species, his physical status, like his health, and his powers.
Okay, so well, Time Child, Omegan, so a Chronokin, and the other thing that you can see is that he has a rough health of around about 190, 200.
He's not injured. He doesn't look tired.
He's not injured, doesn't look tired. However, he does look dead.
Yes.
it looks like the health is more of a psychic feedback, which basically means that he is an undead that is being controlled psychically.
Dead people can't heal, so that's something.
However, despite that, he did just take a massive, meaty biff to the mush that should have killed most people, and yet it's as if it never happened.
Well, he's being psychically controlled, so it's his brain or his nervous system is destroyed. Then
you're not entirely sure about that much, but at the very least, you can definitely feel like a greater psychic feedback than normal.
I'll activate the stand anyway.
Okay.
And then I'll try and breathe out sort of mass, like a thin AoE sort of aerosol of blood impregnated with the nanomachines.
Ah, nanometic blood.
Nanomachines, son.
Okay. I don't know if you really need to roll for that, but I'm going to ask you to roll for that and get a minimum of a 15 anyway.
Fair enough.
Good enough. Okay. As the blood begins to sort of move around. Is it specifically trying to target anyone, or is it just...
I'm trying to make it like a mist in the entire kind of vicinity of where we are.
Okay. You notice as it passes around to the others and as it sort of gets closer to them, you'll notice that something has actually sort of caught your attention. As it gets closer and closer to Lord, the nanomachines as well as the blood begins to sort of disappear whenever they get close to him. Something that you...
vanish or die?
They just vanish. They don't seem to stay for long, they just seem to vanish. Or even some of them seem to just stand still right near him. Whereas for the other two, they are getting on and near and on the other two.
Okay, cool.
As that is the end of your turn, it is now right back round to Felix.
Guy.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
Hello.
Ferb. Sorry, yeah, let's go with Ferb, I guess. Sorry, you've had so many different attacks that I just, for some reason, I thought that you'd already done something. Yeah. So anyway, it's your turn.
All of them react. Ferb shouts over to Aldous. Can I get some healing here? I'm losing a lot of blood.
Okay, I will use up a single turn to heal you. Okay. Yeah, your wound is sealed, but the health that you have regained is 30.
Mm-hmm. I'll just put that in.
Yep, so you no longer got a gunshot wound. But that is at least one of your turns taken. And the only reason that that's the case is because I believe... actually, no. It does actually end your turn because the individual who did that doesn't have a combat-ready healing ability.
Very well.
Okay. So now it is back to Felix's turn.
Oh, yes. Okay. Where is... Let me scroll down through my abilities. Is it Outrage?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll probably activate Outrage.
Okay.
So how many people are in combat? Not including... does it include myself? I don't think it includes myself.
7.
It counts everyone who's in, but it doesn't include you. So in other words, it's Fergus, Ferb, Stan. I'm going to count Aldous because he is in this. And then Lord and the Seraphim, so that is 6.
6.
Okay. It's 6 attacks. And I'm going to be essentially trying to bounce them back and forth between the Seraphim and Fergus.
Okay.
So I guess since I'm right next to Fergus, probably start with Fergus.
Okay.
So we'll start with 2 berries.
Roll damage.
Okay. Plus 116.
As that is reflected back at you.
On Fergus?
Yep.
Okay. Do I take the full 116?
I'm afraid so, yeah.
Then I believe I am unconscious.
That is 116 plus your 110. That puts you to 226. As you are unconscious, I'm going to ask you to roll me Fortitude. Obviously with your super constitution, because you took the attack when you were in it.
Alright. 21.
Okay. Yeah, that does not cause any further ailments or injuries, but that does take you out of your transformation as you slam to the floor. It's almost like as if he doesn't remember me completely screwing him over with that last time. As it is now his turn. As he then begins healing both of the broken shoulder and the gunshot wound, as his body seems to be repairing itself. I'm just having a look at something. As his body seems to be repairing itself, you also notice that as it's doing so, it's not repairing his clothing, but he is beginning to sort of look a little better off, a little healthier, as he's doing so. The Seraphim then sort of like looks over at the Seraphim sort of looks over at Stan. As I'm going to ask you, Stan, I'm going to ask you to roll me a Constitution. With disadvantage, please. Nice, okay. As you see this thing looking at you, the next thing that you know is that your neck is sliced open, but it's actually a very shallow cut, and you only like a instant splatter of blood comes out before your blood doesn't continue gushing due to your healing abilities. Despite this, however, the Seraphim is now standing behind where you are.
Good thing I have eyes in the back of my head.
That's actually why I've told you that. One creepy dude. And then after that, Lord looks at you, Ferb. And the next thing that you see is sort of like his entire body begins to cover itself in what seems to be electricity. As the next thing that you notice is roll me a Constitution.
Surprised they're not making attacks at my dead body. They seem like the type of people that would do that.
There is a reason why they're not.
19.
A whole jolt of electricity goes throughout your body as you feel like you're being shocked from the back of your spine as you are no longer flying and you are now pinned prone. You will be at least paralyzed for the next turn, and that forgoes your turn or reactions this rotation. As we come to that, that is the end of their turns. It is now the turn of Stan.
Okay. I like to hit the stand-up stand, just cause.
Fair enough. If I lay here.
Also, I do have a very stupid question. Did when the damage was reflected back onto myself, does that count as me punching myself with like physical damage?
Yeah, well, technically a little bit of yes, a little bit of not just only that, but yeah, why?
Because then my question is, like, would that have activated spirit voltage on either me or whatever?
Technically not, only because it's your own spirit voltage, and technically that damage is already added to that with the 2d12s plus 8 anyway. Because remember, whenever you hit someone, spirit voltage is passively added. Whenever anyone hits you, they just take only the spirit voltage. So technically, with any of your physical attacks, spirit voltage is always added to the rolls that you do when you roll for punching. It's just that when people touch you, when people hit you, touch you, whatever, that's then when they only take just the spirit voltage.
Yeah. It was just a stupid question. I'm already unconscious.
No, it's a valid question.
Yeah, it would be like more damage to me. So that's like,
it's already counted. Don't worry, but that's still a valid question considering.
Yeah.
You there?
Can I guess just try and like force the blood under that like gross dead skin.
Roll for it.
Through their little holes. That is really bad.
I'll roll for con. That succeeds.
Oh, cool. Ooh. Oh, indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna classify that as an injury for now.
Yeah, that is.
So that is the end of your turn. But as we now come back round to the only other physically capable members, as Fergus sort of begins to sort of right himself up for a second as he stands tall, walking over to the now unconscious and damaged Felix. Fergus looks down and says, "And you thought that you were so untouchable." As we now come back to Anarche and Co. You're currently still speaking with this man, the proprietor of this great tournament. But as he said to you, you have the choice. You've then decided that, obviously, now when anyone gets the top dog money, the golden band, they will be able to now use that band to pay and, go back down, whatever. But they'll also be able to use that whole set of points to then change a rule in the tournament.
Yes.
As he said that, and he's asked you that, he then says, "Well, other than the questions that you have for me, I only have one left. So, anything else that you'd like to ask me beforehand?"
No, not really.
Very well. Then I guess the last question is, would you like to know exactly what it is that makes this last gift so important?
I feel like you're dying to tell me this one, so sure, go ahead.
He then just smiles. In all honesty, unlike everything else, I don't mind if you do or don't ask me that question, considering you'll soon have it in your hands. So it doesn't matter to me whether you do or don't know anything. I'm very curious, however, to see what exactly you'll do with it once it is in your possession.
Well, I don't see myself having it for long, but I guess we'll wait and find out.
Do you know many of the different legends around this stone?
Not legends, no. I only know the fact I'm pretty positive it was genocide that made it, but aside from that, no, not really.
There is a good chance of that, I'm afraid. The stone itself requires at least almost 200 separate power stones for it to be made.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of asked the guy who made it, and he was very flip-floppy about the question, so I'm pretty sure he did. But
I did hear that you revived the man known as Gallant as well. I was quite impressed at that feat, more specifically, than almost any other feat that you had performed, other than defeating June Polifante and your team taking on Yol Kaiga. You have been busy over the last 2.5 months. So, well done to that fact.
Thank you.
No, thank you. This whole thing, it's all been about this moment. Me giving the prize, because I already had everything that I ever wanted. I'm not going to say something as cheesy as, oh, I'm giving this to you because my wish has already come true. Because trust me when I say this, as then he places his hand in the same position, and then the miracle stone appears yet again. Roll me Constitution.
Just has a seizure and dies. Oh, slightly better.
Slightly better, but it's still very painful as this power emanates pure golden radiance. As he says, trust me when I say this, the stone appears, the radiance happens. This said, I have had more than my fair share of wishes. He then places his hand behind the stone and gently pushes it as it floats towards you.
I'll grab it when it's in range.
When you grab hold of it, a massive rush of energy flows into your body. The flow of energy that rushes into your body is of the equivalent scale of what you've been sensing, but now instead of pain, it's pure sort of almost ecstasy, as your entire body feels like it's full of energy, like almost like anything currently that you have ever felt is impossible is now truly possible.
Oh.
The pain ceases the moment that your hand touches it. And as you look down and look back at him, you are able to sense a great deal of sort of distinct factors about this guy. His orbs, the flowing energy within them. There's almost too much detail that you get on the energy signatures throughout this guy and all of his tech within this building. Now there you have it. It's in the palm of your hand.
Wow, that's I knew it was going to be a lot, but I wasn't expecting this. Oh.
The Miracle Stone was specifically catered to the idea that whoever wielded it would have absolute power with none of the drawbacks. That means that your power right now will not have any adverse effects. Whilst holding the stone, it also will not feel difficult for you to be able to hold it. Using this power will not have any recoil or rebounds. However, I cannot say the same for any abilities or techniques that have such. Despite this, you will have an increased amount of power output, and your range will be multiplied to 10 times that. On top of that, certain special aspects of your abilities are also fully unlocked.
Nice.
Any last questions?
Can't really say questions. Maybe I'll keep this around for a bit longer than I thought, but... Yes. I think I'm good, thanks.
I should probably warn you of at least one thing. Be in mind that this is more about the wish. If that is still in your mind, anyway.
I mean... I did promise it, so...
What's a promise when you have so much power? it almost feels a little useless to waste it on something as frivolous as a verbal contract.
Yes, although when you start taking those steps, you go a bit too far.
Couldn't agree more. It's one of the reasons why, despite everything that I ever did and ever wanted to be, I never really cared too much to use this to have absolute power or anything like that. As a matter of fact, if you were to make a wish on that stone, you would be the 4th wisher.
Interesting. So, does that mean the stones come back after the wish then?
It was said that originally the stone itself could be destroyed after its initial wishing. The stone, however, is completely indestructible. Can't be destroyed by normal or ordinary means, and once it is destroyed, its grand power has a certain way of coming back. When I first found the stone, about 20 years ago, I discovered that it could come back every 10 years. Then about 10 years ago, it came to mind that I would probably need to have it at my disposal. So I used the stone, made a wish on it, and the final thing was when I realized once I had it, that my wish had truly came true. So that means that I have at least made 2 wishes on the miracle stone, but I have known of 2 others that have also made wishes on it.
Interesting. Well, at least I know it works then.
That's true. However, just as a fair warning, you won't be able to inform anyone else about the mechanics of it. It's impossible.
Okay.
I made sure that anyone who makes a wish, or even holds the miracle stone, is unable to make any of this information come across to any others. In other words, you can't tell people that it disappears and returns after 10 years. Also, it's also impossible for you to be able to tell people if there are any particular weak spots within the stone. Again, one of my particular wishes. The reason I did this was because that I knew that as much power as I wanted, I actually needed the stone to amplify my abilities, not to make wishes. Once I had had everything that I used, I then made sure that the special intricacies were built in. Fun little fact, I had no idea that it would actually not affect me, so perhaps there might be something to it. Perhaps it's because that the 2 of us are currently standing in a room with the grand radiance of it. Perhaps it's because I already made 2 wishes. Or perhaps there's something else. Maybe it's because I made the wish that only I am the exception, that I can speak freely about its rules. I don't truly know too much, but perhaps this might at least tell you something. Not many people truly know all of the consequences of the wish. It's supposed to be perfect, but if you're not careful with how you word it... Oh, did I mention, if you can't say the words out loud whilst holding it, you cannot make a wish, no matter how hard you will it. So be careful.
Again, I'll keep that in mind.
I have no doubt that whatever you do next will definitely be interesting. As we now come back to Stan. Or should I say, Fergus. Fergus is walking over, sort of around Felix's body as he's sort of like holding his hand, as he's holding his own wrist, sort of like moving his arm, as it seems as though like he's sort of like still trying to get used to his elbow as it's just now fully healed. I've got to say, I never really expected you to be the kind that would get in my way so many times. But when your family went, it's almost like It's almost like that you've used that almost sociopathic edge to you. Oh well. I don't really know even why I'm talking, considering you're already dead. Well, unconscious for now. But I need you for something. So I'll keep you around just for a little bit longer. Aldous then tries to help, as Aldous basically... Pretty much the best way to explain it is Aldous basically uses his ability to transmute the lightning that's going around Ferb's body, and then immediately turn it into, like, random butterflies that just fly up as Lord jumps back and gets off as Ferb, you're no longer paralyzed. But whilst this is happening, Aldous then tries to then do something against Fergus. As Fergus then just sort of like snaps his fingers, and Aldous then immediately goes to the ground unconscious. Psychic attacks are pretty useful against you. I'll keep that in mind. So it's just the marvellous Stan and Ferb. I can't wait to see exactly how long you guys last against us now. Your strongest teammate is already taken down. The second has already gone off to who knows where. And now the gun is the only last player on the team that actually has any chance of killing us.
How do I need to kill what's already dead?
You think you're clever? I think it's quite funny. Endearing. I really wish that you and I had met on more agreeable terms. But now that you've seen...
I don't want for fighting other than you're trying to kill us.
Well, I wanted to make a couple of deals. They said no. Then they made a couple of deals with me. And then they went back on them. Tried killing me a few times after they saw that I was doing things that they didn't agree with. So, we made ourselves a couple of enemies, and we've been fighting ever since.
And we get dragged in due to proxy.
Well,
Yeah,
you are
but
the one
well,
who's calling him
understand.
boss.
They shouldn't be here, but okay.
Well then, Mr. Stan, if I have your absolute word that you're going to leave me alone, perhaps I might be able to offer you a job.
Well, no, I don't really work for people. I might collaborate with people.
Oh, fantastic, because I won't be your boss. Instead, I'll be more like a patron. I need you to do something for me because of your scientific wit.
Okay.
You see, technology is such a tricky thing. But I have an idea. But I need it to come true. That's not exactly possible with the amount of irritations that I have to suffer through. So if you can at least help me, then I can help you with whatever you need to build.
But what is it that you want to build?
I can't say in front of these prying ears. But I could say, if you help me take him out.
No, I'm not ready. I don't really like fighting. Remote warfare type of guy.
Even more perfect.
Man, you can't be serious. You do know Fergus more often than not goes back on his deals eventually.
How dare you? I've never gone back on any of my deals, thank you.
Oh, I know a lot more than you think. You made too many deals with the Mercenary Guild to not know you're well versed in going back, or adding a caveat to your deals.
Adding fine prints is as far as I go. I never go back on my own deals, especially considering it's quite physically impossible. You see, I create deals through blood branding. So if I went back on my deal, I'd be punished. It's pretty much a mutual agreement, something that I don't think you'd be very well understanding.
I might know more than you think, considering I have no memory after 8 years ago.
That's probably because if you were any thicker, you'd set, my lad.
Fine.
He begins walking closer and closer to Ferb, as small amounts of slight pink electricity come from his left hand. I think it's about time that I killed you. You're getting rather annoying, and I don't exactly want to be dealing with any more of your insignificance. It's a shame, really. A hired gun like you could have done me the wonders, but you seem to have picked the wrong employer.
I guess it will all see whenever he comes back.
If.
But I'd like to give you a chance. Try me.
As his hand sort of begins whirring, he then tries to move his hand towards you to attack.
I'm going to just open everything. Try fire.
Okay. Tri-fire. What's tri-fire?
It's just, deal with try wield.
Oh,
I was trying to remember the name. $31.
You pull out. Obviously, you pull your guns out on him. Sort of just immediately begin rotating, as he just straight up moves his hand faster than you can, as just blood gushes from you as he hits you. Roll me a Constitution.
Yeah.
As he opens up your chest, he deals not a lot of damage with this one, but it doesn't really matter too much. Oh, okay. As he deals 22 points of damage, your chest is now opened through spatial slashing. As he has cut you open, you are now going to be taking a D8 for the next D8 of turns. So roll me a D8.
1d8.
Okay, so that's 2 turns, and then roll me another D8. 2 berries. Okay, and then you take another 2 points of damage. Okay. As once he's sort of cut you open and blood sort of begins pouring out, he then looks over at Stan whilst you're sort of gargling. Do you really want to be on this side?
I don't pick sides, man. I'd rather you didn't kill him, though. It seems a bit mean.
Then you better get out of here, Stan. Because I'm gonna kill us all.
Alright then.
I mean, it's now Stan's turn, so...
Okay.
Flesh, quick escape.
Yeah, I might as well. How close am I standing to whoever? Who is closest to me?
Technically, you've got the Seraphim behind you, Fergus in front of you. The Seraphim is probably the closest one.
I guess that's who I'm going with then, because I'm just gonna make a portal beneath us to my, outside my house on Jotun Jail Island.
Okay.
Back, the first place I made a portal,
Okay. The portal opens up underneath you as the two of you fall out through it as the portal opens, and then once you are both out, it then closes up behind you.
Good luck for die. If you do, I'll bring you back then.
As the two of you are sort of out there, as the Seraphim just looks at you and just goes, "Fool!
You fool."
Do you really think that that's going to help you?"
No, I was just getting out of the way. He said he was gonna murder me. So
Well, you still need to deal with me.
I've already dealt with you.
What are you talking about? You still have one action, by the way.
Yeah, I'll do the stand over stand. I'll just constantly try and, because it's still my biology, like have rapid cell division with the blood that's carrying their nano machines in.
Okay.
Within their body, just like constantly reproducing.
Okay.
To just flood their bloodstream with them. I mean, explode or die of being eaten alive first. But...
Yeah, roll it and I'll roll con.
My god.
Okay. I will say the con actually does beat this time. It does actually win this time. It does not continue growing as of yet. It seems as though it's quite tricky in that congealed, dying flesh.
Oh, I still have another roll because it's they take 46 and 44s anyway, and then they have to roll con against my tech.
Okay.
Just a oh my god, my rolls like.
No, it still beats that one. But yeah, it still takes the 27 damage. Okay. As it is now Ferb's turn.
Well, at least one of them got out of here. Well, Fergus, are you ready to be entombed under this mountain for the rest of time?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not a mountain, my dude, but it's kind of funny that you think that you're actually going to get out of this alive.
Oh, I know. Nothing in this room is getting it alive. But you've been underestimating me.
Based on the way that you're currently looking, my dude, I'd actually say that I've been overestimating you.
I kind of give it away there. 8 years is all I remember. But in those 8 long years, I was trained, enhanced to be the ultimate weapon. Built for war and devastation. And I'm gonna show you every ounce of it right now.
Whilst you're doing this, he looks over at Lord, shakes shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. And then when you're sort of saying that, he then rolls up his sleeve to check his watch.
His band watch.
Yeah. It's not a
There
band,
is a
but
saying.
he's looking at a watch.
There is a saying in Mercenaries Guild. I'd like to live by it. 'Cause war never changes!
As I activate my overdrive.
Roll for it.
You'd think at this point your action would be the speech.
I use up my movement and speech. Flapping the lips. 3 as all Felix and all. Oh yeah, everyone's Felix. Sorry. As Fergus, all he sees is a small light just above the head-mounted chain gun flip up and start flashing as his left safety eye and his right power eye also start flashing. The miniguns begin smoking and twirling as a small hum is sounded. As all he hears is, "I'm bringing everything down." As I open fire with explosive rounds.
Okay, roll.
22.
Awesome. Okay.
Oh wait, this is advantage, so I roll again.
Okay.
$34.
Yeah. So, are you shooting at him, or are you just shooting the entire facility, just trying to bring the whole thing down?
I'm shooting everything.
Okay. As you do so, you just like completely light this place up as like bullets hit something, explode with double the amount of impact, just completely annihilating things as the whole facility begins to shake.
Don't forget the sonic shockwaves. They're 25 meters in diameter.
As you're firing these off, however, you look around and there's not a single one of the three of them. As obviously the Seraphim is not there, but Fergus is now not there, and neither is Lord. As you fill this place with explosions, you also take damage because this facility isn't 24 meters big. You're going to have to roll me BPA.
So that's 1d4 plus 1. Alright. That is 3, but it's advantage roll, so I roll again.
Why are you so keen on killing yourself? And then roll me, roll me, I think it would be 2d12s plus 2d12s.
How many times do I need to roll fortitude when they're dying on the ground?
Roll me 4d12s times 3.
Mm-hmm. And that's in brackets and then a star.
Yeah, in brackets and then star 3.
75.
As you're taking 75 points of damage, as are the other two that are unconscious, as you're hitting things and they are getting destroyed left, right, and center, stuff begins to fall from the metal ceiling as chunks of the facility begin to fall. As you just keep firing rounds in, as your brain is getting shot with all of these shockwaves, as you're being taken for a ride in your own skull from the sheer roller coaster of this recoil.
I mean, there's not much. He's only got 3 intelligence.
As this is happening to him, you can't hear anything because you're also deafening yourself whilst this is going on. However, as you're going around shooting, not really even paying attention, eventually your eye just catches someone else's, and roll me willpower with disadvantage.
Very well. Is this just pure willpower, or can I do mind or spirit?
I'm going to just say just pure willpower with disadvantage.
Right. So, plus 8.
Okay, so that's the first one, the second one? Okay. As you catch someone else's eye, you immediately sort of feel yourself go under, as you feel like you've just hit... You almost feel like someone's just pushed you into a pool backwards, as you sort of feel like your entire self go backwards and slam into the surface of water, as you feel your entire body being immersed into this weird feeling. As everything goes black. As we now come back to Stan and the Seraphim. As the Seraphim begins to try and close distance of like only about 2 meters, but still attempts to attack you.
Interesting. Do you... I could try and neuralize him with the manipulation, I guess.
Okay.
These rolls are really not.
No,
it.
they're not it for you. As he hits you, you are dealt. You are dealt 30 points of damage. As we now come back to Anarche.
Yes.
Pretty much all has been said and done. He then says to you that all of the information of you winning, everything as he sort of like goes through it, obviously, about the stone, about the rules, and it now comes to the end of this conversation where he then says, just to let you know, all forms of the information that I've given you on the Power Stone that you have, other than you currently collecting it, has been entirely scrubbed from this broadcast. On top of that, this broadcast is about 1 minute's delay, which means that it is impossible for anyone to teleport here through the means of seeing us, no matter how good of a tracker they may be.
Nice. Well, I don't want to sound like a rude guest, but probably about time I get going. Just quick questions. My friends were in a fight before the fight was going to happen before I teleported. Are they still in the same place?
I know the exact individuals you're talking about. He snaps his fingers and 3 monitors come on. The monitor of Felix, the monitor of Stan, and the monitor of Aldous. As they show this exactly what is going on. They also show the 2 characters unconscious, and it's showing Ferb just shooting and bringing the whole building down. As suddenly their feed cuts off before that you get to see the rest of what's going on.
Ah, shit.
However, you also see Stan opening up a portal, teleporting, and then turning around and suddenly getting hit and doing something which is indescript and vague to the Seraphim of all time.
Yeah. Wow. I was not expecting that to happen while I was gone.
I have to be honest, neither did I. Although, your enemy, compatriot individual that keeps on wanting to fight you, Fergus, his clones keep seeming to want to fight you.
Yes, it's getting rather annoying.
I don't know, I find it rather entertaining. Well, to some degree.
Well, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, you get to watch, so... Alright. Well... I better clean this situation up. Who to go after first?
I mean, I've potentially could give you some help. But, of course, I should probably warn you. I don't exactly know where or what has happened to the, Gunhead ever since that he lost his band, but I can definitely tell you just from a single thought that Aldous and Mr. Fatigue, I'm sensing that the 2 of them are at least together.
Well, as long as Aldous is conscious, they should be able to live through.
Neither of them are conscious.
Oh, of course.
Well, best be on your way.
I best I will. I think yes, that one will be my first experiment. As I'm going to go to the Stan's workshop.
Okay.
As I guess I'll portal there, and I'll go to where I see them specifically.
Fair enough. As you create a portal, you notice that there's a slight change as... what hand are you currently holding the Miracle Stone in?
I'd say the right.
As you open the portal, it becomes much larger. Because normally the portals that you usually make are around about 2 meters, but you can expand them to much larger.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is when you do this, the portal becomes massive. Like, it actually becomes a whole area. Like a Stargate. Like, almost like 5 or 8 meters tall.
Nice. As I will walk through.
As you walk through and the portal eventually closes up behind you, you are seeing your compatriot sort of opposite the Seraphim. Whilst this is happening, I'm going to ask you to roll me an SP.
Me?
Yes.
Oh. I get advantage with this, do I not?
You do indeed, now, yeah.
So 27?
No, 28.
28.
Your range is up to 400 meters when it's 25, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't happen here. What happens here instead is you suddenly feel your aura sense push out further and further and further and further until you sense every single life form on, in, and within 2 kilometers around Jotun Jail.
Nice. As I'll walk up to the 2 combatants. I'll go, "Oh, hey there.
Ah, so that's where you went.
Yes, you stole my turtle," and I activate Phantom Zone.
Ah, okay. This is a
For 4
Oh, okay.
turns. Yes.
Yeah, it activates, it swells around.
And you know what? Because fuck it, I'm going to expand it to the maximum size, which normally would be 50, but...
Yeah, it goes up to 500 meters as it takes a massive chunk of Jotun gel as this huge bubble. You now feel this energy. There are many people inside of this bubble, by the way.
Now then.
Staring at you.
Spurger seems to like you very much, so I'm going to make sure there's no remains of you. And then... I'm going to go and kill him.
It's funny that you think that I don't have any capability of fighting back against this ability. Just because that I can't stop time doesn't mean I can't do other things.
True.
And okay, I think I got this covered.
No, I need to let some steam out, or more importantly, I need to test my new abilities.
Why don't you just go and bury and uncover our friends from the rubble, or kill Fergus or something?
Nah. Well, I don't know what Fergus is yet, but this will be a quick way to draw him out. As I...
You need to leave his brain intact.
Fine. As would the amplification still work with my melee usage style?
Yes. So you'd roll advantage on both, and you gain an additional 5d10s on top of both the physical and then the energy damage.
Does my super strength change?
Yeah, you get... so your super strength is whatever it is right now, so it doesn't get higher in the terms of modifiers.
Okay.
It just gets higher in the terms of additional damage. So it's normal rolls plus then the 5d10s.
Cool. I will do that then.
Okay. Although it will still be advantage on both.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
2 18s.
I got it, and let me put it this way: I got a 17, and with the plus 15 that I have, that is 32. So I believe that for you, that's 33.
Yes.
Yeah.
So does my 1.5 on my transformation affect the Miracle Stone, or is it still just my abilities?
So it's your abilities plus 1.5, and then
Yeah.
it's then plus 5d10s.
Okay. Plus 20. No, it's 24, not 25. Almost did it wrong there.
Although, because obviously you're doing super strength damage and energy damage, technically you can just add at the end of this 10d10s.
I could do that, yeah. I've been adding it with
okay.
Yeah. 169.
Nice.
Nice. Also, something else that is also nice. As you sort of rush towards this guy, and you see that his fingers are sort of going into a certain direction that looks like as if he's about to snap his fingers. As you strike him, his entire body whirls and covers itself in energy. I'll roll disadvantage on this.
Yes.
Okay. As you hit him with this force, it does explode outwards as he takes a massive amount of damage, and there is now like a hole in his chest as he falls to the ground, sort of not writhing in pain, but just sort of like dead to rights as you've blasted a hole right through him.
Now, come on, get back up. I know you can undo that.
Doesn't move.
Oh. What a shame for you, as I'm just going to start blasting the corpse into nothing.
Fair enough.
Should I roll for that, or...?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you maybe not do that?
But he's gonna come back otherwise.
I mean, if you wanted to do anything about that, I guess that would have to be you rolling something, but then Anarche rolling his wrath or pride, considering.
I use my power of persuasion.
And I guess Anarche, that would be your... either way, it's going to be advantage for you, because...
Oh, okay. I'll roll flat advantage.
I mean, it's also plus your willpower as well.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
but... No, you don't listen. Destroy! As you just rain fire.
Good roll.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Bill. This was me last session. Just one after one.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Should I roll damage, or...?
Yeah, roll damage.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I guess there's willpower involved in that as well. So 58 plus 19.
Awesome. Yeah, so you just keep, like, blasting and blasting and blasting as just keeps on going.
I guess my intent is injury, or I guess I should say that first. My intent is basically to just leave nothing behind.
As you keep going on again and again and again and again, sort of as you finish this sort of onslaught, there is nothing. There is just rags and just a burnt crater.
Right, well that was a lot quicker than if you'd taken it. So, Stan, apologies about that. The other two need healing, so do you mind going and sorting that out?
Yes, I actually do mind. Why didn't you go and pick them up before you came to me?
Because I really wanted to get rid of that guy.
As Anarche, you suddenly sense something just suddenly apparate into existence behind you.
Oh, directly behind me.
Yes, as when you're talking to Thingy in the crater that you just created, you turn around and it is again the Seraphim of Time. However, you will notice something very interesting. The body itself is there. but it still has the hole from your previous attack. It's just not damaged from the last set of blasts. As this thing now rushes towards you in attempt for an attack.
I'll do the same again.
React now.
You are also allowed to have a reaction as well, yeah.
I mean... Okay. Okay, so 34.
Yeah, you definitely beating me on this.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, I mean, and unless you can stop a 34, then I...
Well, it wouldn't stop your attack anyway.
Oh, would it just add... Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll just try and eat away at it with the machines.
Oblivion!
Machines.
As an arcade, how would you like to end this?
Good God, man! More. You know, it's gonna... I'm gonna be a weeb here. It's gonna be like Black Flash as I throw it, like, sort of energy starts contorting.
Fun fact, obviously, Time Children don't have Supercon, and this attack is with Super Strength that you hit him with. I roll disadvantage. Got a natural 1.
Yeah, I just paste them.
You just disintegrate him. As you slice him, just similar to the clown, the body just begins to convulse with this energy burning away at it, as it just begins to just turn into nothing.
Well then. Right. That was a lot quicker. I'm going to do something real quick. I'll be with you in a moment, as I'm going to be an arsehole here. I'm just going to create a portal under Ferb to send them to Felix and bring in Jig.
Do you mean Stan?
Stan, yes. I don't know what I said.
Ferb.
You said Ferb?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Ferb.
It's
Ferb.
not me! It's real!
Yeah.
As you open that portal beneath him, you notice that he falls halfway through the portal, and he doesn't go any further.
Oh, there's rubble.
There's lots of rubble, yes. Rubble and metal and all sorts.
So how dead is
How about,
Felix? I know I'm at like negative 90 HP.
You're unconscious.
By the way, are you turning off your barrier yet?
How long has it been? Is it just 2 minutes?
It has just been, like, technically, it's been 2, maybe 1. Still got a couple minutes left to go.
Yeah, I'll turn it off. Why not?
Okay.
I don't need it.
As it dispels, you feel your range sort of, like, actually become clearer, because whilst inside of your barrier, it's not that you can't sense energy, it's just that energy's become a bit blurrier.
Yeah.
As once you feel that, you feel a couple of new life forms and life forces have entered the island. Specifically, familiar ones.
Which are...
You're pretty sure that these are damaged. They are very weakened, but you are at least sensing probably Felix's and a couple of others that you recognize, but you can't quite tell who they are exactly.
Oh, I think they're here, Stan. No need to worry.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I've annoyed you, haven't I?
No, not at all.
I opened my portal. Here's the books of physics. Bye. So I'm just gonna teleport over to them.
As you teleport over to the others, you notice that there are quite a few very badly wounded people covered in burns and cuts and bruises, and blood is all over the place. The people that you are seeing are what is left of the Ushimar team.
Without saying anything, I'm just gonna immediately shower of light heal them all.
Okay.
I'll roll. Plus... What does it do? Oh, it's my Discord crashing. I'm trying to.
Here, so.
It's yeah. I don't know. It was just that it wasn't responding and it wouldn't let me type. There we go. It will now. That was weird. Yeah.
Yep. Fun fact. You feel like as if like when you create the shower of light and you push it up, you then set it to program that, and you feel like okay, it's only just going to be for a single minute. You then notice that the stone's power furthers it, and it's now going to last for the next 4 minutes.
Oh, nice.
As that happens,
well, they get... Yeah.
It begins healing them. Nice. Okay, yeah, 52. As they keep getting healed, you notice that there's Felix. You notice that there is Aldous, and that there is also Ferb. But Ferb looks more badly damaged than anyone else. Out of your team, that is. However, for the Ushimar clan, Tori is missing her left arm. Sasaki is actually very badly, grievously wounded with a slash down the side of their shoulder that is actually like showing bone. Itashe has actually got a very badly wounded leg, and you don't know where Majra is, but you at least do recognize Toshimu, who is also covered in loads of wounds as his cloak and his armor is basically entirely gone.
Oh, damn. Should I keep just rolling like 3 more times for the healing? Just to see
I was going to say, you can roll one more time, but times it by 3.
Okay, yeah. Do I have to brackets it for that?
Yeah, so you put brackets at the beginning and at the end, and then on the
star
end of it,
3.
you then put star 3, yeah.
Yeah.
As, yeah, you notice that they are very, very badly damaged. Thankfully, your healing light is at least healing them and revitalizing them, but it is not sealing up the wounds. But it does eventually awaken Aldous, as when he sort of gets to come to, he notices that people are very badly hurt, and he begins to try and like heal them using his powers, eventually correcting any of the damage or broken bones and sealing up any of the injuries. Eventually, at the end of the 3 minutes, Felix awakens. However, despite all of this, Aldous has not yet gotten to Ferb, and Ferb is still unconscious, even though that he is healed.
How much?
Can I actually sense him, or is he like...
You can still sense his life force, but it is very, very weak, even though that he's now fully healed.
Am I at 52 HP, or...?
No, you're actually back
at
up
1,
to...
Oh.
So that'd be 52 plus 216, so that's technically 268 on top of what you took.
Well, my max is 211, so you know.
Yeah.
So from the last lot that you took, one sec. The damage that you had was you were on. Okay, so the only amount of damage that you currently have actually is around about 40. Yeah, it's 46.
46 damage?
Actually, no, sorry, it's just 40, flat 40. So you have 40 damage, but you are now back up and awake. As
171.
Yeah. And then, Ferb is fully healed, but he's still unconscious. He is alive, but he is still unconscious. As you have also pretty much fully healed the others, but there is no Majra to be seen, as I said. As eventually, whilst they're being healed during this process before Felix wakes up, Tori then just sort of says, "Got there just in time."
Yes, thank you for that.
I wasn't talking about us. As when she looks up, There's a massive chunk out of her mask, revealing a piece of her face. We were on the brink of death, but we were able to get up just long enough to get your friends out of there. We couldn't find the other one.
The other one's fine. Where's Madra? Did he...
Majra, he wasn't with us during the fight. We got separated during something. We were planning on trying to push you out and eventually invite you. We had no idea that they were going to use Lord against us. But they have tainted him, our ancestor. That man, the one with the tattooed hands, he is truly evil.
You could certainly say that, yes. Well, lucky for you, I plan to kill him. And, if I have your permission, I plan to also eradicate that disgraced lord.
There might be something that we could do to help you then. Itache, he saw one of them before they left. He has an ability that allows him to track people using psychic interlays. He might be able to find him.
Now that would be useful.
The only problem is that we all need to be healed enough to the point that we can do it. But we're not going to go alone.
Question. During this, I don't know if I have the materials, but could I be doing a patch job on, since I am up?
You are now awake after they sort of say about so you weren't awake during that part, but you're now awakening as they're sort of saying like they do not wish to go alone, or at the very least, more specifically, they don't want to go until Majra comes back, as he is the leader of them. As this is happening, you're now coming to.
Oh, rise and shine, Felix.
Good morning to you, or whatever time it is.
It is roughly morning. As a matter of fact, it is merely an hour later than when you left. Or should I say, 25 hours later than when you left. And it was around about 10, 11 at the time that you left, so it's around about 11, 12-ish.
Right. Got a lot of injured people around here. We should get to work getting everyone to peak performance.
Yes. Oh, well. Is Aldous still out at this moment?
No, because Aldous was the first one to get up, so he's been patching people up and healing them.
Yes. Well, I have a couple of things I want to do first, but Felix, in between my fingers, I'll show the stone. You shouldn't have to wait much longer.
Felix will just give a thumbs up as he goes to tend to people's wounds.
It is true, then. Its existence. It's real.
Yes, it's been used 4 times, apparently. Oh, wait, can I say that?
No, you can't. As you go, so you just go, yeah, it's very powerful, and I've used it only a very short amount of times so far.
Yeah. Ah. Oh, yeah, I guess he was right then.
He was right about what?
Oh, don't worry about it. Yes, so it's in fact real. And I plan to use this to rid... I don't plan to keep it for long, but I think it would be right to at least rid Fergus with it.
I have a question, Joe. What's my stockpile at? Is it at 1?
It is at 0.
0, okay. And that's just in the regular stockpile, not in the gauntlets?
No. Gauntlets have not been emptied.
I will go ahead and pop a pill then.
Okay. Fun fact, something insane would have to happen for you to lose your stockpile along with the stockpile in your gauntlets. Something really insane, and I don't even think I actually have the ability to pull that off.
Yeah. I was just like, because I wasn't sure if it was like I would have lost my stockpile from going unconscious, or the end of that ability that I didn't really even get to use.
No, it's because you were forced unconscious that it emptied your stockpile entirely.
Either way, I was going to have like no stockpile at the end of that.
Yeah.
So, pop a chill pill. For some reason, I'm forgetting what I have to roll. It's a D10 and a D20.
So it's D10, D20 first, and then after that, it's then D4. You messed that up. It's D10 plus D20.
Yeah. It's 15 plus 7.
22.
So.
Yeah, 22, and then roll a D4.
4.
And now roll a D10 times 4. Meh, fair enough. That puts you up to, I think, 34.
Okay.
Yeah, 34. As Ferb is still unconscious, but now a lot of the wounds are being healed. Aldous says that it will take him some time, but he wants to now try to regrow Tori's arm, but it will take some time to do so.
I say, I think, how about this? Everyone go and recover who's injured, and we'll meet up, let's say, in an hour or two at my place, and we'll discuss things from there.
Fair enough.
Did go unconscious. I believe Fergus gets all my points by the looks of things.
I mean, if he has a band. Remember, if he doesn't have a band and he beats you, your points aren't lost.
Fairly certain.
Oh yeah, I need to re-edit mine. I only have 1 point now.
You only have 1 point. However, your band is yellow.
Ah.
So, as
Well, Joe, you can either take these points or I just lose them all. But 1, I think. Is it but 1 or is it?
I mean, again, as I said, I'd probably more than likely. I don't know if I'll have it that you lose the points because again, you were attacked by someone. Because again, you can only lose the points if you die.
Because I technically punched myself.
Well, I was going to say because the individual that beat you did not have a band on, and because the individual who beat you, basically because
yourself.
No, it's because of the individual who beat you. Not only beat you and they didn't have a band, but also because what was it? There's a set rule where if you're defeated by an outside force that someone doesn't have a band for, you don't lose the points.
I seem to remember that there was like a rule: if someone without a band beats you, they are entered into the tournament.
Only if you have a red band. That was the original rule. But you have a yellow band, so bandless individuals cannot take bands from you, and therefore you can lose points.
That's how the Vault King gained a band, because he technically defeated Fletcher. He was the only one in the party with a red band still.
Yes, he was, yeah. The only way that they can remove the points from your bands is if they kill you, and then they still don't get the points because that they are not entered into the tournament. However, if you have a golden band and someone beats you, they get your band. But that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah. It's close to gold, it's yellow.
Yeah.
Why do you want these points gone so much?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I'll take them.
He doesn't need money.
The rest of you are sort of gonna, get some rest and get recovered. I'm gonna say Aldous is gonna also, Aldous is going to try and recover Tori's arm, and whilst that's going on, try and heal the others. Anarche, where are you going off to at the time?
Stan dislikes me. We'll give him some space.
Okay.
So, I'll go and see Pinky. It's been 24 hours.
Fair enough.
Dipped.
Stan, what are you going to do for the next hour? Good talk.
Stan is going to sit there.
There we go. Yeah, what are you going to do for the hour downtime?
Very good question. I suppose.
Yeah, you should. Sorry, I was just gonna say you should probably also add the books of physics because you have that now.
Yes, I need to look through those and work on some anti-gravity technology.
Okay, well in that case, I guess roll me. I guess it's be. Roll me intelligence. I'm going to say roll me intelligence 5 times.
I hate when the apps just force close. Weird.
Very much so.
Okay. So you spend an hour reading it. You are relatively compatible with reading this book. In the terms of like going through it. You sort of look at a lot of the sort of stuff that they show, but there is a problem. You can't read in this language.
Okay. Is it just Tuscanian?
It is, well, it's ancient Husconian, but it is still, yeah.
Or is I can simply use technology to deal with this.
Do you have a piece of tech that can help you read?
I will,
You will do someday.
pulls up Google Translate.
Yep.
Well, either way, for the time being, you're looking at this book, and it's not necessarily too hard or complicated. Like a lot of the things that it shows does have diagrams. It's just you're like, wow, this would be great if I could read this language. So you put it away for the time being, but you've had a look through it for the last hour at the very least. Felix, what about you?
What will Felix be doing? I guess probably just training, knowing that they're going to be having upcoming fights.
Okay. During this time, I'll say if you would like to, you can use your XP to obviously, replace the survivalist trade to martial arts, to master martial arts if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that and we'll set that up in between the next sessions. Unless if you know exactly what you're going to do and be able to do it autonomously.
I have no clue by myself. I will need your help.
That's all good. Okay. We'll go over to Aldous. Aldous is, as I said, Aldous is healing people, sorting this out. Ferb, you're still unconscious. And Anarche, what about you?
Yeah, I just gone to check up on Pinky, considering I have no idea how she is during this time. So, just checking things are good.
You eventually go back to her place to see if you can find her, and she is not there.
Is she on the island at all?
You can sense her, yes.
Ah. Well, I guess I'll be an intrusive asshole and just teleport to her.
Okay. You eventually teleport to where she is, as she's basically just eating an ice cream, and as soon as you sort of like teleport to it, as she just throws it up into the air, and it just immediately splats onto the ground.
Oh, I was gonna say, would I be able to use? Would I be able to do a reaction to stop the ice cream hitting the floor?
Roll.
Very
dex,
important.
Roll finesse.
Sure. Yes. I got a 12.
No. If anything, you go, oh, and hit it. You slap it midair, and it just splats against it just splats against the bench. Now you've just got ice cream all over your hand. Thanks. The last thing I needed right now is you popping up, and then she just like starts slapping you, on the arms, like, not telling me where you're going.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm gonna start licking the ice cream off my hand. Good choice of flavor.
Yeah, I know. It would have been good choice of flavor if I didn't get any more than 2 licks before some random space asshole suddenly just flew into nowhere, appearing out of thin air. I haven't seen you in the last 25 hours. I assumed you'd be dead by now. And then you just disappear, all for us to see that you won.
Yes. Sorry about that. It's like, I think it's quite clear that he's like somewhat. He's not only somewhat embarrassed. He doesn't know how to deal with this situation, so he's just like kind of looking away, not making eye contact.
Oh yeah, I was doing fine, by the way. Thanks for asking. Thanks for taking me along.
Sorry about that. Well, it was kind of a quick decision making. I had to. No, that's not really a good excuse yet. I'm sorry.
Either way, it's good to see that you're alive.
And, you too.
Despite everything, though, I'm actually surprised that you did it.
I would have thought you'd had a bit more faith in me in that.
Not that. The amount of people who are after you, I just assumed that they'd eventually get you from wearing you down. I mean, I saw you on that broadcast. You looked exhausted.
Yeah. I wasn't easy.
Didn't look it.
Especially that June guy. Yeah, hard as fuck.
There's a lot of people who tried to come after me ever since. They thought that if they got to me, they'd get to you, but thankfully a couple of people stuck around, tried to help me.
Yes. Well, I mean, they weren't wrong on their assumptions, so...
Well, half of the people who tried any of that stuff are already dead.
Yeah, right, I know it's getting tired. I'm sorry for leaving and not informing you or attempting to come back.
No, I understand. I know that the reason that you left is because you had no other choice. I also know that you probably didn't want me coming around because I'd slow you all down. I mean, I'm not a fighter like you guys.
I'm not getting his head like, do I just agree with her? What do I do? This feels like a lose-lose situation. You know, Joe, can I roll intelligence to try and figure out what
You
the
can
best
indeed
thing?
roll intelligence.
Yeah. I got a 9.
You should agree with her.
I mean, yeah.
She looks at you. You could have said it a
shit.
little bit nicer.
I'm sorry.
But you're right. I mean, didn't build myself to become a fighter because I didn't need to. I'm just strong enough to make sure that the rough average individuals couldn't beat me, but you guys are fighting warriors and soldiers and warlords and people who call themselves demigods. I can't compete with hero-level threats.
I mean, I wouldn't be apologizing for being weak. It's not a bad thing.
Says the guy who
And I'm not-
always calls people weak.
Yeah, well, I'm more doing that to taunt them because a lot of people are very sensitive about the topic. It's kind of like when you know, like insulting a guy about dick size, they get all defensive for some reason. I mean, gosh, just me, you have a small penis, alright? But, it's more... how do I put this? It's probably quite nice. There's not a sense of burden you have of your decision making, nor a sense of loneliness to it either. So I wouldn't say being weak is a bad thing. In a lot of ways, it's probably better than being strong. But that's depends on how you want to live your life, really.
Well, it was almost nice. So I guess
You know what? I'll take it.
I guess I'll say that you pass, at least for now.
I would buy you another ice cream, but I'm out of money. I'm poor now, again.
Oh please, you can buy it. You can buy it once you've killed enough people to get it.
That's... If I wasn't very weird already, that would be very concerning, but you know what? Yeah, fine.
It's kind of weird that we have to say that kind of stuff, but I already know that you're going after Fergus.
Yes, well... He needs to be stopped, and... Well, look, let's be honest, Felix's family wouldn't be safe if that man's still alive, so... It'd kind of be pointless.
I do think that it's quite noble of you to do what you're doing. Giving up that kind of power? I mean, a wish, Anake. Nobody on this planet has ever been able to have something of that level of magnitude. Or at least not for long. You're not even from this place. And you even said that you've never seen or heard of something like this before. Except from in fiction.
Yes, and I have to say it is quite an addicting feeling. I won't lie, but fair to say they've, well, the group, however you count that, has helped in a lot of ways. So also, I don't really have anything I want to wish for, so it just feels better than me holding on. I don't want to have this thing for too long. I don't, well, if I'm being honest with you, I don't really trust myself with it.
I guess that's probably one of the most mature things I've ever heard you say.
Wow.
Suddenly, in front of you, a distortion in space is opened up as a portal opens, and out forth from it stands Majra.
Oh, hey.
There you are.
So do I still get the clan invite?
As he then just darts towards you with, like, trying to strike at you.
Oh, that's not very nice. I guess I will attempt to teleport out of the way.
Fair enough.
Oh wait, does this attack look like it might hit Pinky, or is it...
No, he looks like he's just going for, like, a basic, like, hand-to-hand strike.
Cool.
Yeah, you teleport out of the way, and as he does so, he punches the bench behind you, and it just shatters as you have teleported behind him.
Man, I'm gonna have to get Stan to repair that now, and he's already pissed with me.
Oh, but it's still tough. As he stops, like, still, looking at you.
Yeah, I won.
I cannot believe this. Not only have you done it, you cannot see it from here, But it's like reaching the tallest mountain and realizing that you are far still inferior. I will never reach that level of power. There is no point in fighting you. You've won. Congratulations.
Wow, that's a lot less stats. Wow. Man, this thing really is, wow, it's a killjoy. Didn't...
Well, I guess you could always just give it to me if that's the case.
Sorry, I kinda need to make a wish on it, you know, it's,
I am, of course, jesting. No, it's more like not even just the power of the stone. There's also something else. It's almost like that I've just now, for the first time, meeting you, I've realized that you have reached a level of power that exceeds most other fighters. I'm not saying that with or without the stone you're undefeatable, but I at least know that I know when you've won, and I should accept it.
Cool. Well, maybe this will make you feel better. We're going to hunt down Fergus, you know, the guy who reanimated Lord, and we're going to go and murder him. And they're your siblings, right? Or family member? They've agreed to help, so...
I have not heard about him resurrecting Lord, but if that is the case...
Yeah, he almost killed them all, so...
What?
Yes.
Then you definitely have my support. We shall take this man on. We shall kill this scoundrel.
Cool.
And set my ancestor free.
Do I still get the family invite, though?
What family invite?
Well, you were talking about how I could join the clan and stuff. Does that still apply? Or...
Wait, who said that?
You.
I said no such thing. Someone else.
Actually, wait. No, it wasn't. It was, what's it? The one with the mask?
Tori. Ugh.
Yeah, she said there was like a clan invite or something like that. It was very tempting.
Honestly, she's always getting us into trouble like that. Look, I can't exactly give you something like that. But, then again, perhaps I wouldn't be adverse to an honorary membership in our clan, if perhaps you can help us succeed against this Fergus.
You know what? I'll take it.
Then let us do this, as he holds out his hand.
Which hand is it? Is it his left or right?
It's his right hand.
Oh. Yeah, I shake his hand.
As you guys come back all together, except from Stan. Stan is not aware of what's going on. Eventually, you do get back, and Tori has now got a new arm that has been grown, thanks to Aldous. Aldous then also states that he can now attempt to heal Ferb. However, his body seems to have been healed by most of the power of the abilities that you had. However, when using his biokinesis, he noticed that there are parts of him that still need to be repaired. As he does so, he does fully fix any destabilization within the skull, including hearing loss. As eventually, Ferb, you do wake up.
No, Fergus, I'm not gonna work for you. I don't care what... Oh! We're back on the island.
Yes. Hello there.
Boss! You're okay! Oh! Thank you! Thank Anime!
I didn't take you for the religious sort, but you know what? Fair enough.
I mean, all this is right there. I literally have to say it or I'll offend him.
Wait, Joey in my house?
No, you're out in the middle of sort of like part of the courtyard.
Oh, okay. No. You know what? Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, what happened back there, boss?
Oh, well, I won, so I got teleported away.
Oh yeah, it was getting down to the wire. So yeah.
Yep.
Fergus
So
is
I've got the stone, and we're gonna go and hunt him down.
oh sweet.
Oh,
Oh,
also,
so it's
I haven't told the rest of you this. Don't worry about the time, dude. He's non-existent anymore.
I'm guessing you're referring to the Seraphim of time. Then.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Oh, last I saw me went with Starum.
Yeah.
Ordered him out before I kind of leveled the entire room. Of course, Fergus warped out as soon as I started it.
Yes. Not. I understand your decision making, but not the smartest move. But I get it.
Yeah, it's the only thing that came to mind. I had to get him out, get him away.
At least, at least you did something, and it turned out to work in the end. Just so, I mean, you know.
I'll take it as a victory.
Either way, we now need to find out exactly where he is. And I do have an idea. I believe that you said that you have the ability to teleport to places, correct?
As long as I've been to them, yes, but I do technically have another method to go anywhere we want.
Well, it's a good thing that I actually also have something that can help you with that. I know exactly where he is because I'm keeping an eye on him with one of my eye's abilities. The other eye, on the other hand, can also use an illusionary technique. I can make you see the exact location he is right now. But I can also implant a memory, a thought, a belief that you have been there before. If this works, you may very well be able to get there, even without ever being there.
Oh. Well, that sounds pretty... Oh, wait, we haven't told Stan, have we?
Perhaps
Now,
someone should go and inform him.
I'll go do it, boss.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah. My legs feel a little stiff.
No,
Probably
fair
from
enough.
the weight of the rubble.
Well, don't take too long.
No worries. I'll be back as quick as I can.
Alright. It's probably best we try this. You're going to need to look into this eye, as he points to his left eye.
Well, good thing you're pretty eyes.
Yeah, your comedy isn't going to help us right now.
Oh, sorry.
As you look into his eye, you feel a weird, strange presence enter your mind. As you feel this strange image in your head of Fergus sort of standing around in a very ominous looking sort of location, as he's sort of like walking around, as 3 other versions of Fergus begin to follow him, as he walks over to the undead version of Lord. Isn't it just glorious? It's almost ready. But I am still pissed. They were able to destroy the Seraphim of Time. But I have something for that. Soon. Very soon. As the memory is now implanted into your mind of you going to that location, being there, and then using your portal and leaving.
Man, that's trippy.
Yes, it is. This ability of mine is not exactly an easy one to pull off. But, if this works, we may have just figured out a way in which that we can get to him, without him even knowing before it's too late.
I guess there's a possibility he's prepared for people teleporting into that location, as in set up spatial barriers, but...
Our biggest problem is not the spatial barriers. It is his teleportation. When we fought him, he was able to teleport out of the way of any of our attacks, and then get our ancestor to assault us.
I think I should be able to lock that down, at least for a time.
You can stop teleportation.
Well, to a degree at least.
Eventually, Ferb and Stan return to the party.
Yeah, boss.
Oh, hey Stan.
So, am I gonna get on to do my thing? Like ever?
You know what? After this, you get all the time you want, I promise.
Well, in that case, I don't think many of us should go. It should just be, well, no offense, it should probably just be the King of the Hill and at least 2 of us. If there is too many of us Ushimar clansmen, we'll get in the way. I believe that it should probably be me and Majra. I was actually going to say that maybe perhaps Sasaki would be better. Perhaps, if he was with us, he could also give us an additional amount of additional help. Sasaki's lightning manipulation is on par with others, but also we know that he can wield other abilities. Whereas if he sees too many of our more unique factors, Lord could be able to manipulate and mimic them. Sasaki's abilities are powerful, but even if Lord was able to copy them, he would not be able to do any further harm to Sasaki. That is right, so perhaps I should go. What do you think, outsiders? I mean, what do you think, Anake's team?
Well, seeing firsthand the sheer defensive capabilities he had, he took both me and Felix's attacks and just dealt them back to us.
That would probably be his abilities. He's been alive for almost 200 years. Or at least, he was born almost 200 years ago. He was around about 80 by the time that he first got his powers during the first explosion. After that, he was able to copy someone's abilities to completely rewrite himself, altering his body and giving him a youthful appearance. Once he locked that down, he pretty much started copying any and every power that he could get his hands on, until eventually he started creating his criminal organization. He was known as the first supervillain, but eventually he was laid in defeat at the hands of a hero named Origin. Despite his complicated moral compass and past, he is still the very progenitor of all of our family lines. He also was the one who gave our ancestors the book. Because that we have the Animite Tale now, it's the only thing that has kept us alive for long enough. All of his secrets and his techniques have been evolving and passed down through the generations. If he has any techniques or abilities of reflection, that is to say, there are probably more where that came from.
Well, Fergus might have altered him as well. I mean, just from the from what I saw through the memory of me being there but not being there, it sounded like he'd done something to him. So he might have more up his sleeve than he originally had.
There is at least one possibility. He could potentially be weaker. Unless if he has his free will, he might not be able to gain all of the memories. Apparently he had 100 powers. So, surely he would have used at least some of them to become even more powerful. Unless he's learned them through other means.
Yes. I mean, I know Fergus does have a telepathy stone, so... Well, we're not going to find out much by talking.
Back
So-
to the action, boss.
Yeah, so Sasaki's coming, so I guess which out of the other Ushima? Which one? Well, I guess which other one? Do either of you have a preference of wanting to come, or is it kind of just...
Well, Tori must go. Her abilities with spatial manipulation outrank almost anyone else that you have ever come across. So, quite frankly, she's probably your best bet to help if in case there are any issues with teleportation.
Well, since you put it that so kindly, I guess I'll have to go.
I guess so. Alright then. Sounds good to me if everyone else is fine with it.
What happened to my other clone?
The other clone died in the rubble and the explosion.
I thought so.
Yes, yeah.
It was me.
He fought valiantly to not get squished.
Yes. I think I'll make a clone to go and do some work.
Okay.
You know, actually, I'll say before I open up the portal to go there, I'll give everyone like an action or so to do anything they want, to like transform or...
Fair enough. I was
Anything
actually
of
going to
the sort.
say, I'm going to say Stan just because it's so easy for you. I'm going to say you don't need to roll to make the clone, but I will at least say probably roll to see what the health is.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we didn't have like a long rest or anything, right? I'm sorry.
No, it's just,
$171.
it's just an hour. Although, to be fair, you're not exhausted from stuff because Thingy was able to heal you.
Should I roll to heal, or should I just assume I've healed by now? Because I didn't take much damage.
I'll assume that you healed, considering you have passive healing anyway, which can work over the span of an hour.
Maybe he can take one shot of something if he's lucky.
Yeah.
He'll be back here working, so hopefully he won't need much health.
I'm going to say Aldous has already has also put you to your max health as well, Felix.
Okay.
As the portal opens. Is there anything that anyone wants to do?
I guess just transform.
Okay. Just as a reminder, your bulk up will be with 34 points.
Yeah, I have that written down.
Okay.
And then this is for the SP 22.
Okay.
Verbal activate. Try transformation.
It's a little upsetting. My nat 20 willpower SP
Yeah.
was essentially for nothing.
Let's see.
It was the
Dual
worst of
limp.
encounter to get it in, because none of them had anything to do with willpower, so...
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Okay, so is that 2
Both
limbs?
arms.
Okay.
Yeah. That's 15, 20, and 25.
Okay. Stan, you've made a clone. You've transformed Felix, and then Ferb, you've done that. Anything from your end, Anarcho?
I'm basically at peak, so I'm good.
Okay.
Because I'm still in my master's form, aren't I? So
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
As you all head through, all 7 of you, as the portal opens up properly, and as you walk through it and the portal closes, you notice that suddenly Fergus and his clones just turn around and say, "What the hell?" As
Yo!
suddenly Tori then just sort of places her hands in like a very strange hand sign, and then all of a sudden just a weird distortion in space just happens around all of you. Okay, whilst this is active, hopefully they should be able to teleport.
Wow.
Very good.
Well, teleport outside of the barrier.
How big is... Never mind.
The barrier,
Finish this.
the barrier is about 30 by 30 in the terms of it's 30 diameter, and then it's about 30 meters tall.
Okay.
Well, I've got to admit, I didn't think that you'd all be here so quickly and finding me. Well, Sure. I'll give it a go.
I assume we all roll move speed.
Indeed.
Quick question, because you said that within that hour I would be changing my spiral stuff to the... How's that gonna...
Huh?
So you said during that, like, hour of, like...
Oh, yeah. You can change.
Yeah. Yeah, but obviously we're going into combat, so we haven't had the time to switch anything.
So you won't be able to use any of the stuff, but I will still state that you still have the same amount of maximum health.
Okay.
I mean, you might as well give him at least the first 3, which is the increase in dice and the...
Yeah, but
plus.
that's only for dexterity-based attacks anyway,
Yeah.
so, yeah. I mean, you can do more damage with dex, but it's actually still less than your hand-to-hand, so...
Yeah, I'm never gonna probably use actual dex attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all for the evasion and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 13,
20,
13,
baby!
28. Okay, so Ferb, it's your turn first.
Woohoo! Alright. First things first. How big is this room?
30 by 30.
34 by 30. Okay, I will activate Flying Dreadnought.
Okay.
38, that is a success.
Nice.
That is okay. Flying leg and head explodes again. And let's see. There's 3 of them. There's 3
There's
Ferguses.
4 Ferguses, and then behind them is then the undead lord.
Okay, and the distance between us and them.
About 20 meters.
Okay. I'm going to activate that.
Okay.
Or should I say it's an acronym. It's Variable Assailant Tactically Shot. So I'm going to roll 1d4 plus 1. And I'm going to shoot all 5 of them!
Ooh, okay. Roll,
What
roll
a
to
perfect
shoot.
situation!
Roll to shoot.
Roll to shoot, and I guess I should say, I'm going to use explosive rounds.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. 1 gun.
Yeah, just roll, okay, nice.
2 gun. And 3 guns.
Oh, nice.
Right, so the damage of the explosive rounds 11 plus. There we go. Oh shit, I should put times 3.
Okay.
Oh well, that's 62 times 3 times 5. No, wait. No, yeah, it's 61 times 3 to all 5 targets.
Okay.
That's 62.
So 183 roll to 5.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
Okay. As you shoot all of these guys, immediately kills all 3 of the other. It kills all 3 of these clones, and then it hits into Lord. As it damages him heavily, as he sort of like backs down, it shoots and tears apart what seems to be the original Fergus as he goes down, and the injury, it blows off his right arm and actually like injures his right eye as like one of the bullets just tears through his right eye as he sort of like goes down to the ground covered in like blood and battle damage as all 3 of the other clones disappear.
What a good way to start a battle!
Fuck.
Not so simple now, am I, Fergus?
Alright. really didn't want to do this. As one of the tattoos on his middle finger glows, he then clenches his fist and then says, "Alright. Come on out then, Lord. I'll give you whatever you want." As he begins to heal himself very slowly, and Lord then just awakens in this weird moment of some weird pressure just comes out as you just hear a sort of sudden almost like as if he's shaken awake. He's got bullet holes through him. Chunks of him are missing. A finger is also missing after he's been shot. Where am I? Where the devil? Oh, well, this can't do. All of you roll me strength.
Okay.
With disadvantage except Anarche.
Yeah, should I assume just a normal?
Yeah, yours is normal.
Well, this doesn't really matter for me, whatever I roll is, so...
19.
Okay.
That is a 5.
Okay. I think... Anarche, yeah, you're the only one who's standing. Unless if... Yeah, no, Anarche, you're the only one standing. All of you immediately either kneel to the ground, fall to the ground, or become prone as...
Question, denial does nothing with this, right?
Nope. So Felix, you go to a knee. Stan, you go to a knee. Suddenly, Sasaki it also goes to a knee. But Ferb, you slam face first, prone onto the ground. Anarche, you feel your entire body getting heavier, but you're able to somehow, keep your cool. You don't know if it's because of the stone or because that you were just somehow prepared, but it's even surprising to you because that this weight Felix should be able to handle. However, with you, on the other hand, Felix, who's eating their microphone?
Herb.
Sorry.
Sorry, got a little hungry there.
Nom nom nom.
It got accidentally whacked myself in the eye with it.
Okay.
Ferb,
So anyways,
you take 8 points of damage from this as you slam against the ground, Ferb, as you are prone. Felix, on the other hand, you feel like this is weird because you were sort of caught off guard by this sudden pressure as everything is immediately heavier. As this happens, even Fergus goes to the ground, sort of lying on his front, as blood is gushing out of his right side, even though he's still very slowly healing and sealing up the wounds. As this corpse walks closer and closer, he then says, "Can anyone tell me what in the hell is going on here?"
Yes, sure, I can. So that man over there, as I point over to Fergus. Well, he's named Fergus. He resurrected you, or well, should I say, puppeteered your dead body to use you, essentially. We were here to stop him, as actually a few of your descendants are here.
My. Descendants of mine. Name yourselves. My name is Sasaki Ushima, and I am Tori Ushima, sir. Oh, sir, you don't have to give me sir. Now, I might ask, what kind of level of descendant are we talking about here? I believe we would be your great-grandchildren, sir. Ah. It's been that long. How long have I been dead? About 55 years? Good lord, a lot has changed in that time. Anemon children. Powerhouses. Destructive capabilities, and even reanimation. fancy things have happened. Impressive, I will say the least. However, I cannot exactly help but realize something. He said that I was to be manipulated, that you were to try and resurrect me. Is that correct? As Fergus is lying on the floor, gutturally sort of sputtering, he says only one word. Yes. And why would you do that? I needed to kill them. I just needed to. I can't win without your power. And you thought that it would be a good idea. You thought it'd be a good idea to take my free will and use me like a puppet. Anyone who knows me, through any of the years that I was around, I may have been a villain. I may have been a criminal. But I hated those who stole life. And I don't mean killing, I mean free will, freedom. For even if you are to take my life, you should not be allowed to steal my free will and want to do those things against you. Just as it should not be mine to take it from you. So, Mr. Ferb. Wait! I made you stronger. I made you more powerful than you were. You won't feel. You won't need to eat. You won't need to breathe. This body here, this damaged corpse. No. As he then clenches his fists, his dying body begins to sort of not glow, but begin to brighten in colour. As his skin no longer looks dying, as it begins to get to a sort of pinkish, sort of more fleshed out colour, as his entire skin becomes more actually living. His missing finger and all of the bullet holes begin to heal up, to the point of which his missing finger completely regenerates. And even his eyes are no longer sort of blackened and bloodshot, as his face and all of his other body parts begin to grow back their coloration. This is not power of your creation. Never mistaken your weakness. You needed me? Then you could have just asked once you revived me. You don't trust people, Mr. Fergus. And that doesn't hurt me. It only merely makes me disgusted in you. As suddenly, Fergus explodes. Chunks fly everywhere, and then immediately, as soon as they get a certain distance in the air, they immediately slam down and turn into paste against the floor from this pressure. Now, I'm ever so...
What happened?
Roll me con.
Just them, or everyone?
No,
Yeah,
just Ferb.
That's what you get for eating your mic.
Yep.
You're gonna eat those words. You're gonna have stomach
Well, I can't see what's going on. He's face first.
As when that happens, one of your arms cracks and twists and breaks. Don't ever interrupt me when I am speaking.
Sorry.
Now, as he begins walking closer and closer to the party, he's about 10 meters now. I couldn't help but notice something. And perhaps you'll forgive me for my intrusion and interruption here, but as he stares directly into the eyes of Felix, he says, "My dear young man, you wouldn't perhaps by any chance be a stockpile user, would you?" And that is where we shall end this session. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We hope that you have enjoyed the Dev Plays Crucible of Avarice campaign using the Animite Tales tabletop RPG system. If you want to check out more of these episodes, check out #Animite Tales on YouTube or even @Animite Tales on Twitter. If you wish to actually play this game for yourself, it is open and free for people to use, and also we have a Patreon, Animite Tales Patreon, and animitetales.com, which is our website. Thank you very much for listening, and always have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't piss your DM off, they'll kill you.
I love to piss my DM off.
I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, you're gonna need to write in memoriam for your character next week.
Cool,
Oh,
yeah.
oh shit! I'm still streaming.